Hey folks, my name's Ed Trevors. My pronouns are he, him, and his. I'm an Anglican priest serving the beautiful parish of Christchurch-Shelburne that sits on the ancestral and on the unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. First things first, happy birthday, Dad. Today is my father's birthday. And he doesn't look a day over. So, happy birthday, Dad. Miss you guys. Can't wait to see you again real soon. Hope the Atlantic bubble comes back so that we can travel. Like the minute it does, we're going to start making our plans to come home for a little while. Next thing I want to talk about. Today, we're going to talk about flipping the tables, and drastically flipping the tables. I mean putting all of our energy, all of our emphasis into flipping the table of what it means to be an adult. I'm not sure if you've seen the video that I posted yesterday about going sailing. So it's March 11th. It's fairly cold here, but yesterday it was beautiful. 10 degrees, nice calm wind. Well, it was nice and calm on the shore. It was a gorgeous day. Everything that I needed to possibly go sailing this time of year. And it happened. And so I went. And while I was on the water, it was kind of nerve-wracking. I mean, the water was fairly heavy. There was big swells, and the waves were a bit choppy. The wind was shifty and kind of unpredictable because there's no thermals coming off the land, and so I was just dealing with whatever was out there. Depending on where I was in the harbor, the wind's strength went up and down and shifted slightly to the left or to the right or whatever the case might have been, but it was a little nerve-wracking. I could feel my heart beating faster, and I could feel the exhilaration moving through me. And then when I was all done and I came into shore, I put my boat on the dolly and de-rigged, then it struck me. And this big, huge, goofy grin spread across my face. I went sailing. Felt so good to be out there. I mean, I always feel kind of nervous. I always feel kind of, like I said, the blood gets pumping. But I always love it. And so being able to be out there yesterday was just such a gift. It was such a gift to go out on the water and play. And it's a gift that I'm going to think about. I thought about it this morning when I woke up. I woke up and, hey, I went sailing yesterday. And I know tomorrow at some point I'll think, I went sailing. I wonder when I can go sailing again. And that's what will happen. And this play is what I really want to talk about today, because sometimes I think our understanding of what it means to be an adult gets confused. I found this cartoon. A buddy of mine posted this cartoon on Facebook, thank you Carl, of Calvin and Hobbes. We have this understanding, and part of it might be biblical in nature, that when we grow up, when we mature, we're supposed to put away all these childish things. Paul literally says, when I was a child, I acted like a child, I talked like a child, I played like a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. And so we think that we're supposed to put all of our childish ways behind us. That we are supposed to just sort of grow up and instantly snap our fingers and become Ward or June Cleaver. But let's face it, we're not really cut to be that cookie cutter image, are we? There's more to life. There's more to life than work. And we have to provide for our families. We've got to provide for ourselves, absolutely. I'm continuously talking about growing. We need to do that. I'm continuously talking about being there for the members of our community. We have to do that. But it's also really wildly important that we keep playing. Nobody ever told us to stop playing. Nobody ever told us that as an adult, you're not going to be allowed to play anymore. You shouldn't play anymore. And I'm saying we should. For me, being on the water is playing. For me, running around the house, chasing Charlie with our laser guns, that's playing. For me, going out in the woods and exploring the woods, that's a type of play. For building sandcastles is playing. Coloring can be playing. Playing with dolls, playing with Lego, playing. Nobody ever told us to stop playing. When we become adults, we have other responsibilities, sure. But we shouldn't sacrifice our play for it. Adult play can be a little different than childish play. Right? There's a lot of adult play that when we wake up in the morning, we don't necessarily feel too good about the play we did last night. But then there's real play. The things that we do that really provide us joy and life. The things that we can look back on next week and say, oh, what a great day that was. And you know what? For what it's worth, earlier I mentioned about our need to be there for our community. Well, maybe one of the things that our communities need is a group of adults getting together to play. Maybe what we need to do is build a network of people who have connections with others that they can get together on a regular basis and play. Where we can get together and sail, when we get together and do puzzles, where we can get together and build Lego. That would be really cool. Play is so important for us if we're going to keep going. If we're going to do the work in the world that I really feel that we're called to do, we've got to do it filled with life. Right? We have to do it filled with light and love for ourselves. We have to do it from a place of strength where we are equipped, where we are encouraged, where we are prepared, where we have the energy we need. And play, while it can be tiring, I think I went to sleep last night at like 8 o'clock after sailing. But I feel more alive today than I have for weeks. I'm so grateful for the hour that I spent down there sailing. I'm so grateful for the time I got to spend on the water, for the time I got to spend on my boat, for the time I got to spend listening to my kids call me from the shore, telling me that there was no fish in the harbor, and they wanted to know why there was no fish in the harbor. And it was a great day. We need to play. We need to take time and play. Yes, we rent a lot of our time out to other people so that we can earn our way through this world. But those other hours that we don't rent out, those are ours. Those are ours to do what we feel like doing. I encourage you to use some of them to play with. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord's face be made to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord's countenance be lifted up to you, and may you always know the peace of being in the Lord's presence. And I pray that you and I will play together, that we will laugh and sing and dance, that we will carry on, that we will play in the mud, in the sand, in the grass, on the water. I pray that our play will lead us to even more incredible dreams of what the world may be. Amen.
No!